Terry Schmidt, and this is the introduction to nursing health assessment. I am so glad you're here. We're going to just go through the course syllabus briefly. I'm going to talk to you about clinical, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the course calendar, although I don't specifically have it here in this format. So I want you just to bear with me, okay? But I'm glad to have you with us. And again, I'm Terry Schmidt, and this is the spring semester of health assessment. So I'm going to load this PowerPoint in Blackboard also. I will load it under assignments, and you will be able to find it there easily. I'll load it by itself. This is the front screen clipping of your course syllabus, so you're going to need that to go through this with me because I want you to write on your course syllabus as we go. My name, my office phone number, my office number, my cell phone number, my email are all here. The best way to get a hold of me, absolutely, is by email. You may also call my cell phone. I love to get calls from students. If I don't answer right away, please leave me a voicemail with your number and name. I'd love to talk to you. My office phone, I'm not always there, but my office hours are posted in the course, and I'd love to see you if you want to come by and make a visit with me. This course is 3 credits still, but it now has 1 hour of clinical, so we've dropped down to 2 hours of lecture and 1 hour of clinical. There are no prerequisites other than you need to be a registered nurse to take the online format. You can see the mission statement, the sciences, health sciences mission, faith integration statement, and disability statement. This is in every syllabi, but it's always important for you to review. And you will find that there are a couple of mistakes in my syllabus I'm going to address now, but any mistakes you find, please let me know. I love to hear from students, and I will make mistakes, I promise you. And so I just will need your help to find those. Okay, so we're going to move on here. This is the academic integrity statement. I hate hashing over this, but every semester I always have someone who violates this. They either plagiarize, or their work is not their own, or they pulled it from another course. I've had students turn in papers that were identical to a previous course. So if you have taken this course before and you did not pass it, you can't turn in paperwork from the previous course. It won't fly. Okay? And if you plagiarize, that includes if you have a partner on tests, course score will be a 0. But that'll be hard to do because the tests are completely randomized, so everybody gets a different test. I mean, even the questions. Test pool's bigger, so everybody will have different questions. So that's kind of the way it goes. Course overview, we're going to talk about the assessment phase of the nursing process. So we're going to do a history, physical examination. We're going to learn the skills to do both of those for our patients throughout the lifespan. We're going to learn the difference between a systems approach, which is like a focused approach if someone came in with a toothache, or and a complete head to toe, where you start at the top of their head and you go all the way to their toes, versus a Gordon's functional health patterns, which is where we do an assessment in a different manner. So there are lots of different types of assessments we do as nurses, and we do them every day. We're going to talk about those and learn. We're going to learn critical thinking, and we will have clinical thinking as well, and lab didactics. And the 5 course outcomes are here, and I want you to read through these when you have time, because when we get to the end of the course, I hope you can do these. I hope you can know all the components of a whole assessment and the components of a spiritual assessment, and have good communication skills and have critical thinking in conducting assessments. So that's all here. Course policies, I'm not going to belabor these, but all of your papers should be in APA format. And I did put a help under the course documents section. There is an APA handout there to help you, and there are some in the BSN community too on Blackboard. All of you should have access to the BSN course on Blackboard. There's some great stuff there. Your work has to be your own. There's currently a new policy I want to talk about briefly here. You know, G says it is the policy of the SBU College not to accept late papers, and that's what we were going to go with. The old policy previously said you could turn things in 10 days late. In a compressed class format, we just can't do that. 10 days, you'd be halfway through the next course. So we now have a 48-hour policy. You will lose 5% of your grade for every day it's late within that 48 hours, but late work's not accepted after that. And even if it is late during that 48-hour period, you better have made prior arrangements with me, because deadlines are important. They're important to everybody. You've got them at work, you need them at school, and so part of turning those papers in just is professionalism and planning. The course calendar is readily available, and you know, if we need to change a date, I am all flexible on that, and I will let all of you know. But for now, all those dates stand in the course calendar. And then you can read through the rest of these on your own. Also turn everything in through Blackboard if at all possible. I don't really like emailed papers. I tend to lose them. And they need to be in Word documents. Okay, make sure your email in Blackboard is correct, and I already posted an announcement and sent an email about this, and the reason that's so important is I communicate with you through email, and I will every week to see where you are, to let you know I'm thinking about you. You can talk to me that way. It's just a great way for us to keep in contact. However, already in this course I've had a couple of emails come back to me. Either the email address was wrong or the email box is full. So I need to have those listed correctly and make sure you're using that email and make sure the box is not full. And just give me 24 hours to respond to you. Sometimes I'm out of town or I don't have email access, but I will get to you, I promise, okay? 24 hours, that's business days. So if I'm out of town for the weekend, I might not check my email. Of course, if something's due, I promise I'll be available to you because I don't want you to panic about not being able to submit something or your computer goes down. Teaching strategies, we're going to have lab practice, lab write-ups, Blackboard exams. We're going to journal a little bit. I'm going to talk about that. Written assignments, papers. Oh, it's going to be so much fun. You need the 2 Jarvis texts. You need brand new texts. If you bought a used text, that is fine, but it has got to have the supplemental CD that comes with that Jarvis text. If it does not have the supplemental CD, that text is no good to you. We are going to use that supplemental CD over and over again. You also need a lab manual. You need to take your lab manual to all of your clinical experiences and to lab at the School of Nursing. And there are some additional resources I'm suggesting. We will need to write some assessments of our patients. They're not medical assessments. You cannot say this patient has, tonsillitis, septicemia. That's not your role. However, you can say this patient has a knowledge deficit in cardiovascular risks and cardiovascular education, and then you will do your nursing thing and make interventions for that. Evaluation methods for the course. 20% of the course is discussion boards, okay? That's a big part of what we do. You can see that that's the biggest portion of the course besides the final. I'm not giving you specific points for these 5 folders of discussion boards because participation in class is going to be a big part of that. So if you go in and do all 3 of your postings, but you wait till the last night, that you won't get full credit for that. You need to give everyone else the opportunity to learn from you. And so part of that's just being timely and being interactive. You all are very smart and you have so much to teach each other and to teach me. So discussion board will be a big part of that. We will have 3 exams, 25 points each, 3 lab write-ups, 25 points each. Clinical log and journal. Now that you're going to clinical, you're going to have to keep a clinical log for me. You will find that in the clinical folder under the assignment section. We will do a final journal worth 50 points. However, we will not, hear me clearly, will not be journaling every week in this course. We won't. There's just too much going on, and I just want you to do a final reflective journal. And you will keep that as part of your portfolio, but you don't have to do a weekly journal this time. And our final is going to be a complete health history on the same patient you do your health checkoff on. You will do a health checkoff. You will write that physical assessment checkoff, so the history and the assessment will be together. The history and physical exam will be together with an assessment in a paper, and we'll talk about that a little bit more. And that's 25% of your grade. There is a problem in this grading scale on this slide. It is corrected in your course syllabus, I believe, but a C should be 75 to 79%. 75 to 79%. Anything less than 75% will be failing for the course, okay? We have gone to a 10-point scale now, you can see, though. It used to be much higher to get an A, so that increases how many people we have making A's, which we hope is good for everyone. Classroom attendance. This is a complete distance learning course. You may never have to come to school and see me. But if you choose to participate in your part of your lab time with me in the lab, you will be there. You need to be prompt. You need to be prepared. When you go to clinical and when you come to lab, you need to have read and you need to come prepared, and you need to be prepared when you go into Blackboard to discuss. Check your email every 3 days and Blackboard for announcements because things change very rapidly. So you can't just get on Fridays. You could, but you may miss out on a lot, especially in an 8-week class. So just be prepared. Assignments, let's talk about those. The first thing is discussion board. This says 4 discussion boards. That's not true. There's 5.